Good afternoon, colleagues. I actually had something planned in mind, and I'm actually going to talk about that in a minute. But first, something came up over the weekend that really kind of irritated me. My lightning talk isn't really about that, but I'm going to talk about it very quickly. This article came out on opensource.com. Many of you know I used to write for opensource.com. I had a column on Perl for a while. I've since left. I'm not doing that anymore. But this article came out from a writer at Red Hat over the weekend. And it had a list of about a list of about a dozen languages, among which is the language we're here to talk about. I found that rather rude and offensive and made a comment and said, I'm at the Perl conference in Pittsburgh right now, and tomorrow I'm going to be giving a talk about there are no dead languages, which I did this morning. The poll, by the way, go to this site and stack the deck. When I looked an hour ago, Perl was third behind C and Pascal. We can't have that.
C is dead?
Right?
Wow.
Now, one of the commenters, if you read down to the bottom of the page, one of the commenters, who is a former keynoter from this conference, said she's very disappointed in this article. It was poorly done and seemed mostly there to incite riots, which, yeah, so please do go and pester them if you feel like it. Now, what my lightning talk is really about, a few months ago, Andy Lester posted that the domain name for Perl101.org was going to go away. It was about to expire, and he didn't intend to keep going. And so he said, you know, if nobody's interested, well, I put in an issue on the GitHub and said I'd be willing to take it over, which shortly I did. I moved it to my own server. I thank you. I spun it back up. Spinning it back up on my server with the really old CMS that he had built around it was non-trivial. I think it was built under some really old Perl way back when, and the brand new Perl on my machine didn't like it terribly well, but we managed, got it up and breathing. Bugs have been found with that, but there are some bugs, and it's just a static site generator. What I'm looking for is people who are interested in making that a valuable resource. I have some vision, I have some ideas. I'd like to have a lot more content out there, not just about Perl 5, but also Perl 6. Perl 6 Mavens in the room? Is there a Perl 6 101? There can be. Send me a pull request. I'd also like to add modules for commonly used modules, DivX class, Dancer, template toolkit, lots of other goodies that we use a lot, Catalyst, Moose, those sorts of things, some basic, how do you use this stuff? I'm going to wrap it in a little more modern content management, nothing fancy. I'm not going to do some huge involved thing. The goal is to make it so that the content is in a separate repo from the CMS, and to update the content, I just pull it. That's what I want to get to. Therefore, if you're interested in participating in that, find me. I mean, I'm not hard to locate in this crowd. How many wheelchair operating, pink-haired transgender women are at this conference? It's not hard to find me. Track me down and ask how you can help. If you're interested in writing some content, I would love to see a pull request. And my goal is to make it, a lot of that content is in pod. Fine, I have no problem with pod. Like many of us, I'm not fond of writing it, but I can write it. Markdown, flat text, HTML, God help you, tech. If you know, whatever you want to send it to me in, I am good with that. My goal is to make it so that the CMS will properly ingest whatever I feed it and make a coherent output. That's the goal. That's all that CMS is going to do, is be able to ingest diverse content. All right, so if you're interested in contributing to that, find me and let's talk about it. Thank you very much.